In this video, I'm going to talk about clients who are relocating to Denver and have that high budget, what to expect. So I just put out two videos. The first one is neighborhoods within Denver and then suburb markets for those luxury buyers. What does that luxury buyer need to know when they move here? Maybe they haven't lived here before, and so you're relocating from somewhere else. So in this video, that's kind of what we're going to talk about. A couple things that you just need to know off the bat is that Denver is a very lifestyle-driven city. Whether that's outdoors or the neighborhood that you live in, or you want easy access to certain things. The lifestyle behind the neighborhood and where you're living impacts your day-to-day a lot. All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about the neighborhoods. You can watch those other videos. We're going to talk about the commute realities, the taxes, insurance, lifestyle expectations. So let's just start with the biggest misconception about Denver. And that is Denver is not just one market. When you say Denver, it can mean a lot of different things. So Denver has a lot of little mini micro markets, right? We got a lot of cool neighborhoods. We've got a lot of great suburbs. And it's not just one area. Luxury inside the city behaves very differently than luxury outside the city and in the suburbs. And then mountain adjacent properties, again, behave entirely different from suburb and city living. So a couple examples, you got Cherry Creek, you got Wash Park, Cherry Hills Village, Castle Pines, Evergreen, Greenwood Village. So all of these markets are little micro markets within the Denver metro area. You really have the full gamut. It just depends. Do you want something in a historic neighborhood? Do you want something that's redone in a newer neighborhood, or at least a renovated home? Estate suburbs, Cherry Hills, Greenwood Village, properties are going to run anywhere from generally 2 to 6 million. They can of course go up from that, but as far as the range of where most homes trade, we'll call it 2 to 6 million. And the foothills property, again, depending on how much land you want, the luxury lifestyle out there is roughly anywhere from 2 to call it 7 million. Views, right? Size of the home, year build, all of that stuff depends on the budget that you come into that market. All right, and the lifestyle trade-offs that you need to consider. So we've got city lifestyle. That's when you're in town. That's a Denver address. That's a Denver neighborhood. You're talking Cherry Creek, Wash Park, Lodo, downtown, Low-High, all of these neighborhoods. You can visit our website. We got all the neighborhood guides on there. We got a full neighborhood guide. So go check it out. So what do you get with that? Well, you get walkability. You get restaurants. You get a little more hustle and bustle in your day-to-day life. You get cultural amenities. So you can easily get to museums. You can get to these parks. You can get to these things that drive your interests. You're definitely going to have smaller lots and you're going to have density. So you're going to see your neighbor. You're going to hear your neighbor. You're going to hear cars on the streets and people yelling and laughing. That's just city living. And so you have to take the trade-offs that come with that. All right, and then you have estate suburbs. We'll call it Cherry Hills and Greenwood Village. Those are the two most popular. Those are just south of Denver Metro. And what do you get there? Well, you get space. Sometimes you get acreage. You get privacy. You get top schools if that's a priority for you. So these are all things that if you're looking for, we're going to direct you into that area, again, depending on what you tell us that you need. The trade-off is certainly less walkable. You're not walking to a restaurant. You're not going to walk to a coffee shop. So you're driving more. And then you've got foothills living. So Evergreen, Genesee, Golden, Boulder can be included in there. What you're getting with that, mountain views. You've got wildlife, privacy. Again, depending on where you're at in those areas, I mean, you can be extremely remote. This is more mountain living with city access. If you're in Golden or Boulder, then you're gonna have a lot easier access to some of those cultural amenities within those townships. The trade-offs there, snow. You're gonna get snow, it's not gonna melt as fast. Commute. You're gonna be driving a little bit more depending on if you need to come into town or DTC or wherever you need to go for your day-to-day work. And then services are usually farther away, so it's harder to get to your grocery store. It's harder to get to your daily things that you need. But if that's what you're used to and that's what you're seeking, then foothills properties might work beautifully for you. And so commute realities, let's talk about that because that is a big thing that a lot of people want to consider. So Denver traffic has grown significantly over the years. If you're in Cherry Hills or Greenwood Village and you need to get to downtown, you could probably count on 15 to 30 minutes depending on the traffic. Evergreen getting back to downtown is going to be 35, 45 minutes. Weather, traffic, all of that depends. So many relocation buyers underestimate the geography and how that impacts your commute. So property taxes. Colorado property taxes relatively low compared to many states. All right, so we're anywhere from a 0.5% to 0.6% of the assessed value given to you by our county assessor. So an example of that would be a $3 million home is going to pay anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 in annual property tax to that home. Insurance costs are rising. The further up you go into the foothills, you're going to have a higher insurance cost. Wind, hail, fire, those are all real threats for the foothills living. When you are in the metro area, it is more wind and hail. All right, weather. That is something that a lot of people seek. And as I'm sitting here, it is mid-March and it is almost 70 degrees and sunny right now. And then this past weekend, we had a blizzard, full on 8 inches of snow. So the weather patterns change a lot. So you're gonna get 300 plus days of sunshine. It is true, it's a reality. You need sunscreen, you need sunglasses. These are the things that most people don't really consider in their day-to-day life. The snow does melt quickly in the city. If it does snow, it's usually gone in a day or two. And then the foothills are going to get significantly more snow than we're going to get here in the metro area. So winter living in Evergreen is going to be very different than winter living in Cherry Creek. All right, outdoor lifestyle drives real estate here. I mean, it really does. So why people move here? Skiing, hiking, mountain biking. A few other things are like Rocky Mountain National Park, Red Rocks Amphitheater, golf communities, trail systems, open space, fly fishing. So Denver real estate is deeply tied to lifestyle. If you can afford the real estate that matches your lifestyle, then you're gonna have very easy access to what you like to do. So whether that is inside a golf community or you want easy trail access for mountain biking. So you can get that pretty simply. If you've got a $3, $4, $5 million budget and that's what you're looking for, you're gonna have a lot to choose from. And quite honestly, you're gonna have a lot of advantages when it comes to negotiating with that seller. All right, so if you're relocating to Denver with a hefty budget, it's not necessarily as much about the house as it is about the lifestyle. Yes, the house has to meet your needs, but so much of this is gonna depend on your lifestyle within that house. And if you're exploring Denver, please let us know. My name's Jason, team lead with the Denver group. We are a high performing team here in the metro area. Our office is in Cherry Creek. We want to be your resource and guide for you. Visit our website, denvergroupre.com. We've got so much information on there. Our neighborhood guidebook, we can mail you a copy. So don't be shy, reach out. We're here to help. Let us know what you need. Thank you very much.